Son of Krypton versus Bat of Gotham.
You think I'll fight him for you?
Yes I do.
From the Henry Cavill's unceremonious dismissal to the rather huge burden that's been placed on his successor, a lot is riding on Superman Legacy, but it's fair to say that the movie is in good hands, considering James Gunn is gonna be writing and directing the movie himself.
Kal-El. It is. I have so many questions.
Talk about a hands-on approach. In a way, it was kinda inevitable that Gunn was gonna do everything all on his own. He's the person that's been tasked with shaping the future of the DCU, and given how crucial Superman is to the entire universe, not to mention his central role in the original DC canon, Superman Legacy is just not the sort of film that he's gonna wanna delegate to anyone else. Now, I personally think that Gunn is the right choice for this film. He's unveiled his vision for Chapter 1 of the rebooted DCU, calling it Gods and Monsters. So taking control of the pivotal film will help him set the course for the cinematic universe. Although there's a lot that he's up against.
You have to listen to me. Lex wants us.
After all, Henry Cavill's exit has left a dark cloud over the entire franchise, and that's gonna extend to Superman Legacy as well. You see, Cavill has his fair share of critics, and Man of Steel was by no means a perfect Superman film, even if you use a loose interpretation of the term. But at the end of the day, he personified Supes for millions of people around the world, so Gunn's got his work cut out for him. Most fans blame him for Cavill's ouster, even though him and Henry have been nothing but professional in the aftermath. Despite all that, the way he handles Superman Legacy could make or break the franchise. If he doesn't give the fans something spectacular to cheer for,
You know, at first they were saying, hey, what about Superman? What about Superman? And I was like, I don't know.
I have a feeling that he's not going to be able to hold on to his job for very long. The thing is, he needs a bit of time to get settled. Launching an entire cinematic universe is no easy task, and that might just be the whole problem, because Warner Brothers tends to be pretty trigger happy when it comes to restarting things. After all, the DCU has been rebooted plenty of times before. In fact, you can even consider the initial DCEU announcement to be a bit of a reboot, because we already had an iconic Batman from the Nolanverse. And all of that went out the window when Batfleck came onto the scene. Unfortunately, there are very few films in the DCEU lineup that stood the test of time. Wonder Woman was great, and Aquaman was pretty decent too, but Batman vs Superman was downright terrible. And don't even get me started on the disaster that was the Justice League. Whether you're talking about Joss Whedon's version or the Snyder Cut that so many fans were eager to check out, the DCEU was hit or miss at best, and that's gonna pile even more pressure on James Gunn as he looks to save the sinking ship. It might have been easier if Gunn got to start from scratch. Unfortunately, he has a lot of baggage from the DCEU's past that he has to handle first. You see, 2023 has several DCU movies scheduled for release. The Flash is just one of the films that comes to mind, and boy has that film had a troubled production, and that's putting it mildly. Between endless controversies surrounding its lead actor, which Ezra Miller just made worse because of his inability to behave himself, along with some serious confusion among the fans about what the movie was even gonna depict, The Flash will be the first of many hurdles that Gunn's gonna have to surpass. With the trailer finally being released a few weeks ago, fans have gotten their first look at the movie, and while plenty of us are excited about what it has to offer, it still has not answered the questions burning in our heads, cause there's no indication about whether the new DCU will use it to canonically reboot the universe, or if it'll just conveniently retcon old characters and introduce new ones instead. What's more, there's a new Aquaman film on the cards as well, and it's coming out after The Flash's supposed soft reboot. Will this film just be the last gasp of a dying franchise, or will James Gunn somehow fit it into his wider plan for the DCU? These are questions we need answers for, and that's precisely why Superman Legacy is such an important film, because it'll set the stage for the rest of the DCU in a big way. I mean, firstly, we'll get to see whoever's replacing Cavill in the role. And no, I don't envy the actor that gets the job, because they have some enormous shoes that they need to fill. Secondly, the film is gonna show us the direction that the franchise might be headed in, and it'll be the first time that we get to witness Gunn's directorial prowess in the proper context. He has directed DC films before. The Suicide Squad was one of the best DC movies we've gotten so far, but things are gonna be different this time around. Gunn can't just direct a good movie. He has to make sure that the film is strong enough to hold up an entire cinematic universe. It's why there's a lot depending on Superman Legacy. If things don't go off without a hitch, I expect Warner Bros. To do yet another shakeup of their troubled franchise, and all of Gunn's hard work will go to waste. So, with all of the pressure mounting, what's Gunn planning to bring to the table? Well, there aren't many plot details as of right now, but James has hinted at some of his plans. And sure, it won't be an origin story. Instead, we'll get to see a younger Superman. That sounds like a bit of a strange combo, but it also makes sense in a way, because you see, origin stories are done to death, but we still haven't seen a young, inexperienced Superman on the big screen. Instead, we've mostly gotten an origin tale in flashbacks, with Supes already being a seasoned superhero in the main plotline. It looks like Gunn's gonna turn back time a little bit. Superman will already be in full control of his powers, but he won't be anywhere close to coming to terms with his destiny, let alone his place in the universe. If Gunn's hints are to be believed, Superman Legacy will be all about Clark Kent balancing his role as the savior of humanity, whilst trying to measure up to his true identity as the last son of Krypton at the same time. This serves as a bit of an explanation for Cavill's departure. It would have been weird to see the same old Superman figuring things out from scratch. I guess we can give Gunn a pass on that, cause all of this seems like it could work if done right. And if anyone can pull it off, it's James. So when can we expect to see the movie hit the theaters? I would love to tell you that it's right around the corner, but that's just not how the world works, cause rumor has it Superman Legacy's release date is years away. I mean, I'm talking 2025, so that's a long wait, but I'm actually glad that James isn't jumping the gun, if you'll excuse the pun. The thing is, there's just so much to get through before the movie gets out that a distant release date was the only option. So I guess we're gonna need to wait until the 11th of July 2025 to get any concrete answers. That'll give Gunn a couple of years to sort through the backlog, and then get a fresh, clean canvas to paint his ideas on. 2025 is also when the sequel to Batman gets released, so it will likely end up being the year that the DCU starts looking to the future, hopefully moving on from its troubled past. If things don't work out the way Warner Bros. Is hoping, there might not be nothing left for the fans to stay for. That's all you need to know about James Gunn directing Superman Legacy for the DCU. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.